Welcome to Never End the Story, a rewatch podcast where we watch the movies of our childhood along with Tepper, a grown man who's never seen them before. I'm your host, Ivan. Warm and witty.
I'm Chris, and I'm copywriting lyrics so they can't be stolen.
And I'm Tepper.
This week we'll be watching Prehysteria, directed by Albert and Charles Band, released in 1993. This film was Austin O'Brien's first lead role. For reference, that was our child Danny in Last Action Hero.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
At least he played Danny in The Last Action Hero. I'm pretty sure that was the main character, seeing as there weren't many named children in that movie. But I don't actually remember if that was Danny. So, actually, was that Schwarzenegger's dead son? Who knows?
Oh,
He
no.
played Danny.
Prehysteria came out the same year.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. That's a big year.
Huh.
Big year for Austin O'Brien.
Yeah, he might have been Schwarzenegger's kid who died, not the main character.
Do we see
Who
that
knows?
kid? Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
at the start
we
we
see
see
him.
that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone else can figure that out for me. I did mild fact checking and then remembered that there is a second kid in that movie, so who knows?
I feel like because he's like a New York plucky kid, he would have some kind of like vaguely ethnic name like Tony or something, you know?
I mean, I would have assumed it would have been Danny Slater, so who knows?
Oh, maybe, yeah, that's Danny Slater sounds familiar.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So it's Andrew Slater would have been his son, probably. Maybe that's his cousin. Who knows? It's fine.
Huh.
Chris and I brought this movie to us this week.
Uh-huh.
Why?
I don't know. How much do you have to say about this? I have like a medium amount to say about this.
Yeah, not a crazy amount. Definitely rented from Cherry Hill. I know we rented this one and the third one. I don't recall if I've seen the second one. But it's very possible. Like the third one has a very distinct setting and also
Yes.
a girl.
Yeah.
So I could just be mixing up the first and second one and thinking it all happens in one movie. So
This came out when I was 4 years old. This came out in the middle of me being obsessed with dinosaurs and right after Jurassic Park.
yeah.
The concept of having a tiny dinosaur, very appealing.
Mhm.
The previously mentioned my version of Cherry Hill Video had this. I rented it all the time, along with a VHS copy of 3 episodes of Thundercats. That was probably years and years of my life are probably in those VHS tapes, and I'll never get them back. But this movie, like I said, facilitated my dinosaur obsession, and it also, I think, kicked off my obsession with practical effects.
Huh.
And like this is getting ahead a little bit, but my strongest memory of this film is the after credits making of little like mini doc they had, where they showed you how they made the dinosaurs out of modeling clay and chicken wire, and you bet I had modeling clay and chicken wire.
Nice.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I definitely had like not nearly as strong, but I definitely big obsession with dinosaurs. Probably around the same age.
Yes,
so.
boys turn 4 years old and they choose one of 3 things.
Yeah, and then when you turn 30, you choose between golf, podcasting, or streaming.
Golf? People golf?
Some do.
Man.
Wow.
We're not in a post-golf society yet.
No. First, we have to hit the point where Big Bitcoin buys all of the golf fields to turn into server farms.
Big coin.
You know anything about this, Tepper? Or ever heard of it?
Never even heard of it until you guys were talking about it. Dinosaurs got me interested. Like, that's usually a strong pitch, is something contains dinosaurs. I don't think I was very obsessed with dinosaurs when I was younger. Like, I liked them, but I wasn't like
You didn't like memorize any dinosaurs?
Not really. Like I watched a lot of Land Before Time,
Hey.
if that counts.
Oh man. Now a lot of the first movie or a lot of the movies.
I think I had up to like the 9th or 10th movie.
Damn.
Wow.
I think I've only
Yeah.
seen to 5 or 6 maybe.
Yeah, I've seen more than one, but definitely not all the way up to 9. Holy moly.
Yeah, like my mom, like I remember having like VHS tapes for like all of them, and yeah, watching them. A good time too. Like I enjoyed them.
So Ivan, what was your favorite dinosaur? What was your go-to dinosaur?
I was probably a pretty standard poser kid when I was young. It was probably a T-Rex.
T-Rex is a good choice though. T-Rex is like hard to argue with.
Oh yeah.
It's strong. Like it's
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah, it's probably like I don't know if that'd be my answer anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd have really an answer anymore, but that's probably what it would have been.
Nice.
What about yourself?
Pachycephalosaurus, baby. give me one of them big horny heads. Whack it into stuff. There was a Dinotopia about whitewater rafting with a Pachycephalosaurus that was very formative for me. I remember very distinctly being like 8 years old and weeping because I found out that Dinotopia wasn't a real place.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Another dinosaur movie I watched. We watched it again like last year or whatever. Was We're Back.
Hell yeah!
I watched that. That was good time.
That was pre podcast. That would have been prime podcast fodder. But we
Yeah.
Yeah, we were hanging out one day and it came up in conversation and we sat down and watched it.
Man, the song is in my head now. Turn back the clock.
Yeah.
Roll back the rock.
Yeah, because I remember because we showed it to you. I think that would have been a year or so before the podcast. I think, or the somebody, anyways.
Yeah, we were like streaming and yeah, we watched a couple things. We watched that. We watched Mazes and Monsters.
Yeah. Interesting enough, I guess like most of my like my favorite dinosaur like media is usually with the dinosaur, like in like almost like horror movie environments, like Jurassic Park's atmosphere. I loved a lot when I was younger. Another big influence on me was I watched my older brother play Dino Crisis. When I was pretty fucking young.
You bamboozled me there. I was sure you were going to say Turok.
That was my guess
no.
too.
Yeah, no. Dino Crisis, which I was very impressionable and it left a long lasting impression on me. In a positive, like I love that game a lot. There's a lot of really cool sequences where it's just like fucking raptors and T-Rexes and other things trying to fucking kill you, and you got guns of your own and you're fighting back, and like that's pretty sick to me at least.
My childhood dinosaur video game was some sort of dinosaur baseball.
What?
I don't think I'll ever be able to find it because searching dino baseball game did not find it for me. So
can I count Yoshi's Island as my dinosaur game? Does that count?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Is that cheating? I remember listening to a podcast about the history of like First Nations people in video games, and one of the hosts was a First Nations person, and he would not stop talking about how awesome Turok is. I was like, yeah, Turok is awesome. You're right.
So interestingly enough, with Turok is I never played any of the games, but there was, and I probably still have it sitting around somewhere. My older brother gave me like a whole bunch of books that he had just sitting around. So I got like all of the Dritz series. I got like a bunch of like fantasy books, Lord of the Rings trilogy.
That's some serious older brother book collection stuff.
Yeah. But one of the books he gave me was a random Turok novel that he had.
There's Turok novels?
Yes. And my only interaction with Turok as a franchise ever was reading this novel.
Wow.
And like I don't know how good it is if I was to read it again today, but I remember as a kid being like, yo, this is pretty cool, man. Like,
okay, so Ivan, I need the details on dinosaur baseball.
Yeah. So we'll get to the poster later. I found it. It was Dynamite Baseball.
So it was just like a sports game, but with dinosaurs?
Oh yes. I don't know why or where we got it. It was probably some garage sale. I also had a like Magic School Bus tours, like Dinosaur Times computer game. But yeah, that's a game I played at least twice.
What's everybody's favorite Jurassic Park movie?
Oh, one.
7.
Opposite ends of the spectrum. So today we're watching all 7 Jurassic Parks.
Yeah, condensed into one very different movie. So showing Tepper the poster, please describe it. Tell us what you think the movie's about.
Oh, this does not look grim enough for me.
But what you thought this was going to be? You thought a 1993 movie about tiny dinosaurs was going to be grim?
I didn't realize it was tiny dinosaurs.
Spoilers.
Cute poster though. Yeah, so where do I start with this? So poster at the top in like red font says Prehysteria exclamation mark. And right below that, they're the world's oldest party animals. And then there's this average looking kid on the
Definitely the kid from Last Action Hero.
yeah. And there's like three different tiny, very cute looking dinosaurs hanging out with him. One is like nibbling on some of his hair. One is chilling on his shoulder, and there's a T-Rex who's just kind of grinning and looking up at the kid.
Kind of give him a
He's got his
purple nurple.
Got his
too.
claws. Yeah.
Got the claw on his chest. Yeah, and then at the bottom just says on video cassette, available on Pioneer Laserdisc.
Hell yeah. Straight to video.
So there's an alternate poster or cover. The tagline is "The funniest film since time began," which is pretty ambitious.
Yeah.
Like there's been a lot of funny films.
I haven't seen this for 20 years probably, but I'm going to go ahead and say that's a lie. I'm going to stake my reputation on that not being true.
Somebody in marketing would lie to me? Yeah. So, what do you think's going to happen? Small boy gets eaten by dinosaurs.
See, I'd like to say that's what happens. Like these tiny dinosaurs just terrorize and murder people.
I mean, it's already happening. They're going for his hair.
Yeah. Kid somehow either brings his dinosaur figurines to life, or I don't know.
The dinosaur in the cupboard situation.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is I'm like, this just seems like Indian in the cupboard, but dinosaurs.
But less questions from those brought to life about if you're a god.
Yeah. Also, I guess the dinosaurs can't ask why they aren't around anymore because they can't speak English.
Tech people.
Maybe a tiny Richard Attenborough makes a tiny Jurassic Park.
Oh, that'd be so good. That'd be so good.
Kid puts his Richard Attenborough action figure in cupboard. Comes back the next day.
And yes, nature has found a way.
I will spare no expense.
Puts Jeff Goldblum in. Jeff Goldblum accidentally shoots Richard Attenborough.
He puts that reclining Jeff Goldblum naked Funko Pop in there.
Funko Pop, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh man, that's something we didn't talk about. Is modern day Indian in the cupboard, but with Funko Pops.
Oh, ew, cursed.
God.
So cursed. Burn the cupboard.
Oh, that's awful.
I imagine you open it and they're all just like, kill me.
End my suffering.
My organs are all squarish.
But yeah, I'm assuming like, yeah, kid hangs out with dinosaurs and like maybe goes on an adventure or something.
What's the conflict? What are we, who's threatening us? What do we, what's the problem?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Like,
Big little dinosaur. I honestly don't remember.
yeah, people trying to take his dinosaurs away from him. He's trying to keep
Yeah,
them hidden.
that would be my guess. Is basically,
like that's usually the plot of this kind of stuff.
yeah, my guess would be like Air Bud or Slappy and the Stinkers, but with dinosaurs.
Yes.
All right. We'll see you after the film.
Can I have a word with you?
Yeah, your dad's half naked. Nice gams, Mr. T. I see where your daughter gets her legs.
Daddy, you remember Brenda and Danny?
I said beat it.
And we're back. So, what did everyone think?
Preemptively, that was good and Tepper's wrong.
Hey, you didn't even let me say a single word.
Yeah, but I nailed it, right?
I'm mixed on this movie.
I mean, I didn't know what was going to happen. I'm still not sure if I have seen this one previously.
You just skipped straight to number 2.
I mean, I might have just skipped straight to number 3.
Oh wow. I'll preface my I'll add to my statement that like in the context of this being a straight to DVD 1993 family movie, I was worried that it was going to be a lot worse than it ended up being, and it surprised me. It really surprised me in a lot of ways.
Yeah, there was a lot going on that I was not expecting. A lot of horny.
Yeah, so like this movie, the like general idea of this movie is like it's got some real Air Bud energy. Like it's very much like a family movie of this era. But it has a psychotic energy.
It mostly stemming from the dad.
Like, okay, I did not expect that whole sequence where he takes the gun and then he's just like, crawl to your car, bang, shoots into the air, crawl, shoots again in the air. I was like, what the hell?
No, he turns into Walter White. Like this is this is Breaking Bad with tiny dinosaurs.
Yes.
Yeah, he's working out his 2.5 years of sexual frustration.
Yeah, no, it really is. The dinosaurs are not a part of this movie. They are barely in this movie at all because they cost money to do.
Yeah,
it's a man going mad.
I don't think the dad knows that there are dinosaurs in this movie. That's for sure.
He's too busy shooting guns and fighting gangsters.
He does that twice. He does a like look over there, take your gun move 2 times in this movie, and it works both times. And then he gives up the gun. He
like knocks out the guy, but doesn't take his gun the second time, which is very foolish.
Yeah, that was silly.
Also, they only had one gun between the 3 of them when they came.
Also, just the fucking sexual tension in this movie.
Oh man!
Oh.
This
like
movie...
when the 2 of them are sitting on the couch, like all the energy of that scene was, oh, they're gonna fuck as soon as the kids go to sleep. They're boning down so fucking hard.
They're so obviously waiting for the kids to go to sleep.
Yes.
I mean, she was ready to like take him on the counter at work.
Yeah, in the first 5 minutes of her character existing.
She established that they had known each other for 8 months, and that's all she needed.
Why does the daughter want to watch? So when you say the sexual tension, there's sexual tension between every character in this movie and every other character.
The daughter was the weirdest one because it was like it was kind of uncomfortable.
I feel a lot of that was the dad. He was projecting her desires for him on her or whatever.
Yeah.
That certainly was a thing. And yeah, like the son just kept mentioning things being in heat. He called his sister Madonna in heat.
He kept saying horny, but that kind of read as like a weird little boy thing. Also, his like semi-psychosexual obsession with Elvis and being Elvis is like, What does that have to do with anything?
Also, like that random like at the beginning is just like, do you ever think about mom? It's like, yeah.
My dead wife? Yes, I do.
let me just keep brushing off this fossilized feces. Just like brush away that question. But it's like 2.5 years. Like, did he know his mom when he was like 6, maybe 8? I don't know how old he's supposed to be.
Man,
like the energy that scene, like it was similar, like the orange and egg scene.
Oh yeah, I was
it's
very
like get
excited.
over your mom.
That was a great opening.
Yes, it was a return to form.
I thought he was more sane than Orange and Egg Business.
no, he gave us
with
a whole
that
movie.
Opening scene.
He's so like in terms of getting over the mom's death and everything, like much more sympathetic. Absolutely more insane in every other way.
Much more sympathetic for his son. Absolutely no connection to his daughter. Literally bullies her.
Yes.
And then blames her for situations.
Yes. He's obsessed with money. And he spends none of his time grape farming, which is his profession, and all of his time digging up dinosaur bones that he can sell to the lady he wants to like hook up with at the dinosaur bone buying shop.
He's like a total coward too, because it's always like, hey, we've got like this find of the century, like fucking mini dinosaurs. Well, they don't belong to us. We'll go give them back. It's like to the person who rips me off all the time and treats me like dirt.
Yeah. Well, and like his previous interaction with that person is just like, hi, there was a mix-up. I have your cooler. He's like, oh man, my cooler. It's just like, yes, now can I have mine? He's like, I don't have yours. It's like,
you do.
Yeah, like maybe like try looking for it.
Or say like we lost it or something, you know? Yes. Yes, Mr. Taylor is oh man, we could spend a long time trying to crack that nut.
Yeah. Well, that was like, just
so many scenes that he's in just have this strange, awkward energy to them. Like after the dinosaurs are taken and they're eating breakfast.
Yeah.
And he just was like, eat your breakfast. It's just like, we literally had armed intruders come in, hold us at gunpoint and take our like pets, including our dog.
And your girlfriend.
Yeah, yes, and your girlfriend. And you just want to sit around at the breakfast table and eat?
Yeah, his response is 5 less mouths to feed. Now go farm some grapes.
He at first I thought he was like Orange and Egg Business Dad, and then I thought he was like Sweaty DMT Business Dad, but really he just like flies back and forth between both of those energies at the drop of a hat.
It depends if he's on DMT at the time or not.
Yeah, it's such a coin flip. It's wild. And he refused to put on pants.
Yeah, but also like at points I'm like I find him very sympathetic. I want him to succeed, and then at other points I'm like, why are you like this?
Yeah.
Why are you insane?
This is another one of the movies we've watched where like this movie could have taken place in an afternoon or 5 years.
Yeah.
No indication at all on how long she was building that like greenhouse for the dinosaurs, how long in between them stealing the dinosaurs and them going to like punch the guy.
Yeah.
This is all over the place.
Yeah. Also, she's just like, they'll die if they get taken out of that enclosure. It's like, no, they won't.
Yeah.
They spend 4 days in a basement.
Yeah, like the only good thing I could think of is that she was basically bluffing and basically being like, no, like trying to buy time and also not get people shot.
Also, she has what did he say? He was going to take away her grant, but like how does what part of hit what
is
how
her
is
job?
He in the equation why is he in the equation of her having a grant, and why does she have a grant and works here? Also,
what is his business? As far as I can tell, he's a poacher dealer. He deals animals that have been poached.
I thought my best guess he sells fossils, or he's a pawn shop that really likes fossils. It was very unclear.
It's bizarre.
But he runs this town.
Yes. Why is he so powerful?
He can threaten to get your grant revoked or keep goons from ever working in this town again.
Yeah. And like,
man, those goons were amazing.
Those goons were one of the best parts of the movie. Yeah, they were very, Very good.
Yeah.
Also, boyfriend Danny.
Oh yeah, fuck.
So 90s.
I agree with what Chris was saying during the movie. Where it was like I'm coming around on Danny. Like Danny's actually cool.
Yeah, no, Danny's a good guy. Danny's like probably a good influence on Monica. Like
Yeah.
I was 100% on board with him in like his first real scene when he's just like talking about the dinosaur, and then he's just like sees the dad. He's like, "Oh man, nice legs. I see where your daughter gets them."
Yeah.
he's like earnest. Like at first I was like, oh, this guy's a dick, but then I was like realizing like, no, he is so dumb that he's like actually completely earnest about everything he says.
Well, my favorite thing was when he's like, "You're not dating me just because I'm the only person who's got a license in 10th grade, right?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god, the self-awareness, Jesus!"
I like how he says the dinosaur is a RC car, and then he says it's a toy, and then he says goodbye to it when he leaves. He's very polite.
Yeah,
that is character growth.
Well, I mean, even like when she was like, "Turn around, I need to go back." He's like, "Oh, your wish is my command." Like princess, and like does it. Like he's like totally cool.
No, she will never. She is going to dump him for someone who seems cooler, and she will regret it for the rest of her life. And he is gonna like marry the next girl he dates, and they will like be happy forever.
The happy, kids. Forever and ever, yeah. Like,
be Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be the Danny you want to see in the world.
Yes.
Have a license in 10th grade and be earnest.
So I assume this is going to be one of those movies where like what we saw as the ending is like if you see the sequel, you're like, no, ignore the last like 10 minutes of this movie. Assume that family got murdered and Vicky made away with the dinosaurs. Because I imagine it's an entirely different family from the poster I've seen.
Oh wow! And do you think it's like the weird like sequel setup we get at the end? I don't think that has anything to do with the sequel.
No, I don't think that comes up at all. That ethnic tribe is dead.
That was so funny. That was so funny at the start. Like the whole start of the movie is this setup of like, oh, these are our sacred eggs, and if you take them, the gods will punish us or whatever. And he just takes them.
Yeah, knocks the guy out and takes him and leaves.
Where were they? How did he learn of this? How did he get the means to get here? Because then he just returns to this tiny shop. Doesn't even take the cooler inside.
I love where like the natives all got wiped out, and then like 2 minutes after that statement was said, fucking the guy shows up at the end.
The guy shows up with a knife.
Yeah. I'm just imagining like theoretical sequel where that dude's the axe murderer who breaks into the house, just kills all of them, takes the eggs.
Because they were entrusted with these mutant eggs to keep them safe and cold.
Yes.
Otherwise, their village was doomed.
Yep. And damn, did they fail.
Yep.
I mean, he tried barely. He took one slight bonk to a head from like a man who looks like he can't walk up a flight of stairs.
Yeah.
Why did he even help him at all find this temple?
Yeah, like why even tell him anything?
Yeah,
he's like, okay, I'll show you our temple, but you can't touch anything.
He doesn't really seem like someone who pays well.
No.
Yeah, Sarno is I don't know if he was a good villain, but he was very despicable. I mean, I did hate him.
Yeah.
Especially once it gets to the point where he's like locking Vicky in the room, and like that one got dark.
Also, some of the lines in this movie, like, do you enjoy abusing women? Just a little. Like,
as he's crawling to his car on the orders of a like guy wielding a gun at him.
Yeah. But yeah, that where he shuts his door, like, locks her in the office. It's like, that was...
Well, especially because the scene ends there and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
What is about to happen? Please cut back to this scene and don't make me, like, assume what happened here.
Yes, please. And I'm glad it was a lot more innocent than it seemed. Although still creepy. And then she gets her keys taken again!
Yeah!
Like, later that day!
Look, it's how you talk to women. You assert dominance by taking their keys.
Yeah, women love being trapped. They love being like trapped in a situation and not able to leave. That's their favorite. And then forced into your house.
Like she assaulted her boss, and the first person she comes to is this man. So she's made no other connections working at that business.
He owns the town. She can't go to the cops.
I know, but she's like this is the only person she's ever this and Mr. Whitey.
And Whitey, yeah.
It was like, see you, Whitey. Just
yeah.
The kid Whitey.
You're just like, I know, I'm fired. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
You were really right. I mean, that really was Chekhov's janitor. I did not expect him to come back and be like the hero of the film at all.
Yeah.
Or like how did she plan this with him?
How are we going to resolve this? Well, off screen and without any mention, the janitor fixed it.
Yes. Actually incredible.
I guess he also worked at the museum that's directly across the street from this shop.
We straight up cannot afford more than 5 minutes of dinosaur in this movie. So how do we do this off screen?
The practical effects were very good for the dinosaurs.
They were.
Yeah, they were all cute.
Yes, they are very cute. And sometimes it looks like you can tell it's green screen, but anytime they're like holding them or that's just like sitting on the ground, they look very good. When it's bad, it's like charmingly bad.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say about this movie is that you can tell that it's direct to video. You can tell that it was done on a budget, but they're not like overly ambitious in a way that is like negative for the film. Like there's a charm about it where even when the effects are bad, they're bad in a way that is not distractingly awful.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Just trying to fit the Brontosaurus or whatever in the cage, just like bending its neck to a 90 degree.
Mr. Cerno, I don't think this is going to work.
Oh, man, those slimy Italian thugs were really fun.
Can we go? I got a headache.
Bada boom, bada bing.
Bada boom, bada bing. Holy moly.
True Italian representation on film right here.
Yes, it is. Yes, I felt seen.
Speaking of deformed, there was a kid in 6th grade. Hunchback like you wouldn't believe.
You graduated 6th grade?
That is those three people in that van are the 3 Italian body types. Like that was really like I meant it when I was like, this is my family reunion. Like it's either like Weasley little guys with a neck chain or like a big muscle man or like kind of like a gross mustache big guy who's in charge.
Peak Italian performance.
Yeah, you may not like it. They're a really good example of movie poor, where like they're complaining about how they can't make ends meet and stuff, but like their house is the most beautiful house I've ever seen, with like exposed brick everywhere and this like amazing basement and like
also like just having the land of like a farm.
Yeah, clearly, mom set him up well before she died.
Do you think grape farming is lucrative? Grape farming seems like a made-up thing.
Well, no, they were raisin farmers.
Yes, sorry. Yes, that's what I meant. They were raisin. Like grape farming seems real. That's what I meant. Grape farming seems real. Raisin farming seems made up.
Doing specifically for raisins. Yeah.
Like I think you're a grape farmer and then you dry them. You know, like
yeah.
Or
sell them to various things, and they might dry them or might sell them as grapes.
Yeah, like I think you grow plums and then you sell the plums and you don't care if they turn into prunes or not. Like I don't think.
Yeah, I did not know what his job was for most of the movie.
Yeah, like I raise chickens, but I don't say I'm a chicken nugget farmer. You know.
Is a farmhouse the same as a ranch house?
It isn't. A ranch house is usually only one level.
Yeah, it's just there's like this movie as a whole is like pretty mediocre.
Oh yeah.
But there's just so many individual golden moments where I'm just like, holy shit. Like that lie, like it's farmhouse the same as a ranch house.
Yeah. And like not just things that are like weird or like why does everyone in this family seem to be sexually obsessed with everyone else in this family? Like there are actual funny things that happen and actual like nice moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are things they say a lot. Like they keep talking about Elvis. They keep talking about
Yeah.
Madonna.
The king.
They name the dinosaurs and then never do anything with the dinosaurs.
Hey, the T-Rex like bites the guy's ankle.
They're as soon as they name the dinosaurs, the dad finds out and tells them to never interact with them. And then Vicky shows up and says, "I'm going to study them."
Yeah.
Yeah, she gives a lot of like half-hearted science babble that doesn't mean anything. Reverse Darwin hybridization or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll give you my grant money if you let me study these dinosaurs and give you blowjobs.
The blowjobs are free.
Oh, not another mouth to feed.
Oh, damn. I think we're done.
Yeah, cut it.
Yeah.
Jesus, it's only been 20 minutes.
Can't top that. It's over.
Oh.
I'm dead. Oh god.
Because of the start of this, we were talking about Turok. I really wanted to shrink down Ethnic Knife Man at the end and turn him into a tiny Turok to hunt the tiny dinosaurs.
Yo.
Crossover with this and Indian in the cupboard.
Yes. Ooh, what happens if you put the live dinosaurs in the cupboard?
Important question. Presumably, there was so much of the lore of that cupboard we didn't really get answers to. We had many questions. Like, can it turn flesh to plastic? Like, again, like, Little Bear was a real person as far as he understands, and was a real person from history, maybe. Who knows? They could have kept those eggs very safe if they had the cupboard, though, because then they could have just turned them to plastic, and they wouldn't have had to worry about them hatching.
Then you don't even have to. Then they don't have to pay their refrigeration bills on the ancient tomb anymore.
Yeah. Also, so the kid, it's like these are Mr. Sarno's dinosaurs. It's like Ruby hatched them. He couldn't have done that. It's like, you don't know that.
Yeah.
He had them for like half a day, and only just got back from, I don't know, the ancient village downtown. It's unclear where they were, but presumably he didn't go very far.
That dog, like everyone's super excited about the tiny dinosaurs. That dog understands English. And like does many tasks for them, is probably the hardest worker on their raisin farm.
Yes.
Yeah, and they barely acknowledge it.
And give away their children.
Yeah, and won't let it fuck.
And threaten to either spay or put down the dog. Unclear what Frank's plan was. Probably a coin flip.
I didn't even think about that in terms of the like psychosexual nature of this movie, but like even the dog gets in on that. The dog's whole plot is about how it had puppies and they took away the puppies and it wants to go have puppies again with the Springer Spaniel down the street or whatever.
Yeah. It'll settle for dinosaurs that it barely gets to interact with, but it needs to be near them because they trust it, even though that stops being true when Vicky separates the dog from the dinosaurs.
I appreciate, because this doesn't happen in a lot of the kids movies we watch, I appreciated that like every single line they said the name of the person they were talking to, so we know all of the names in this movie because they were nonstop saying their names.
It took a while for them to say Vicky, so I'm like, I looked at the credits, I'm like, Vicky and Monica, neither of them have a photo. It's a coin flip right now.
There's also a lot of like people entering scenes and everyone going like, your name.
Yeah.
Norm.
Whitey.
What?
So
See you,
much,
Whitey.
Mr. Whitey. It's a fine-looking family you got there. Sure would be a shame if I or some indigenous people had something to say about that.
Oh my God, Whitey has totally been stealing stuff the entire time, right? Like,
yeah, almost certainly.
No, he's a good man who got pushed to the edge by Sarno. Clearly.
I mean, I'm not saying he was wrong to steal stuff. Just saying, definitely was snatching.
I never took a tissue, and that's the truth.
I just took everything else. What an insane movie.
yes. Insane energy is the right way to describe it.
There are so few characters in this movie. There are fewer in this movie than there are in Tremors. By like
Wow.
half.
It's quite
Yeah.
economical with its characters, yeah.
Yeah. Like, if there wasn't the scene of the, like, 30 reporters, which presumably is 80% of the population of this town.
Yeah. Well, there's also 0 sets. There's the archaeology, there's the poacher depot or whatever Sarno runs.
The themed pawn shop.
Yes, there's outside of the museum, and then there's the raisin farm. And there is briefly a jungle and a ruin, but the jungle is Sarno standing in front of and behind some houseplants.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and the cave. Don't forget the cave.
Well, the cave is like a Halloween haunted house.
Yeah.
And it's not very big.
No. It's like he's there for what, 2 minutes?
Yeah, I have to assume that this indigenous tribe literally just lives in town. Especially, like, I don't know how the guide would have gotten here.
Oh, so you're saying this film takes place in South America?
No, I'm saying this film doesn't know where anything is.
Okay. I mean, would you really be surprised if at the end they were like, another wonderful day in Argentina?
I suppose we didn't see any flags. He did say they lived in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. The way, I know I keep talking about this Elvis thing, the way the kid is obsessed with Elvis is very, I can't tell if he wants to be Elvis or if he wants Elvis. Like, it is not normal to put posters on your ceiling like a boy you want to kiss.
He wants Elvis to be his mom.
Oh.
Yeah, not very clear. I do like that, like his rapport with Elvis was good, and his sister's rapport with Madonna.
Yeah.
Also, the dinosaurs could talk.
Yes, they could. They could say their names.
Yeah,
that seems like a big deal.
Yeah,
Yes.
At the very least, they're capable of mimicry, if not actual speech. Because at first it was Madonna doing that, and it's just like, do they think it's a parrot because it can fly? And then it's like, oh no, they all can do that. Mutant eggs.
If you saw an animal you'd never seen before in your life in your house, would your first thought be to kill it?
Not in the interactions that he had with them. If it rushed me, maybe.
Yeah. It's coming right for me.
But like those were very much just like they like slowly came out and looked at him.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant when Monica is chasing Madonna around with his guitar, trying to like actually murder her.
Oh, I mean, she thought it was a bat and is clearly fine with killing bats. But fair. No, I probably wouldn't do that. Although I am uneased by bats.
I can understand being scared, but I feel like my first impulse would be like, I need to take a picture of this thing.
Yeah, or like let it, get it outside.
Yeah, she assumed it was a bat and wanted to hit it. And then she saw it and would continue to try to hit it. And then her brother just kept quoting Elvis. Or talking like Elvis.
They have an actual Elvis song at the start, but then they can't afford a second Elvis song, so they have like a weird like Schmelvis song about Godzilla.
Yeah, I remember I read that as a piece of trivia that it's like they wanted several more Elvis songs.
How expensive can an Elvis song be?
More than a direct to VHS children's movie can afford.
Basically. The movie ended kind of abruptly. Like, I thought there would be another 10 minutes. And I was just like, nope, credits roll. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it sure did. Well, especially because, I mean, Whitey did everything to
Yeah.
resolve the film.
Yeah, well, because he like, and it would have ended 10 minutes quicker if the dad had done the normal movie thing of like, we have to go after them, instead of it's just like, nope, we go to bed, we have breakfast tomorrow morning. But yeah, he literally just like is like, you've been made a fool by Mr. Whitey, and now I punch you. Oh man, I think the dad in this movie plays the father in Ghost Rider.
Oh,
huh.
Plays Barton Blaze, which I imagine is Johnny Blaze's father.
Oh, sounds right. I'm just gonna say he can get it. Him and Vicky both. They're good looking. I don't know what it is. There's something about it. Might be the psycho energy that they're both like oozing out of every pore.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's definitely good looking. I feel like after 8 months, you probably realize he's not in a good state. But clearly she wasn't either, so.
I think that's what she wants. I think, well, like, what's her other option? Sarno?
Yeah.
Trying to talk to another human?
Nobody else lives in this town in the middle of who knows where.
There's Mr. Whitey.
She should go hang out with Rusty and Spike.
There's the ethnic tribe.
I'm kind of sad we didn't get to see Rusty and Spike.
Yeah.
I was wondering what their deal
at
was.
least once.
Yeah. Did they, like... Because she snuck out, but did she just sneak out with Danny?
No, she
She was
snuck out.
supposed to go...
Oh, I don't know if we saw... I don't know. Did we see the Jeep pull up? I don't know.
She got into a vehicle. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember if it was Danny's Jeep or not.
Oh, I hope
Although he's the only one who knows how to drive.
I'm pretty sure it was a Jeep.
But the dad says, I don't like you hanging out with that older crowd.
Fair. And then, because I guess she went back to Danny, because she was with Danny, and then he's like, I'm going to go hang out with Rusty and Spike. And it's like, what happened to Danny? And then he comes back.
And then he goes back to Danny because we couldn't afford 2 actors. or I mean, if God is good, they paid Danny what they would have paid two people because he deserves it.
Danny was great.
This is a pro Danny podcast.
Frank Welker did the voice of the dinosaurs.
That got old fast.
Yeah.
Little clicky chicken noise thing that they were all doing that outlived its cuteness.
Yeah, Pikachu.
Yeah, very much that. Very much like if Meowth didn't actually, like if Meowth just made kind of noises.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never really do anything. Like, just Pokemon makes me think that they never do anything with the dinosaurs. Like, Rex bites Sarno's ankle and lets Frank grab the gun so he can truly become unhinged.
He can let out all that sexual energy.
Also bites Monica's ass.
It's incredibly... Yes! And everyone's like, thinks it's awesome.
Yeah, well, that way Jerry gets to comment on his sister's ass.
Yeah. Oh, man, this movie's so weird and stuff like that.
Psycho energy.
I did like how the first half of the movie were the son and the dad being like, God, Monica sucks, doesn't she?
Yeah, it was just like, it's just like,
yeah, bros.
Clearly, like this teenager who has not dealt well with her mom dying. Apparently, she's been doing all of the chores for 5 years, even though mom's been dead for 2.5. So, might be a story there. Yeah, they just like they were just bullying Monica. It's nice that this is the first time we've had murder bullies be also a business dad.
Yeah. And ostensibly the main character. Although I would like to posit that Monica is the villain and Whitey is the main character.
Yeah.
Or at least Whitey's the hero.
Monica's weirdly hung up on her dad getting a GF. Like,
Yeah, it was. I mean, like, yeah, she got absolutely no emotional support clearly when mom passed away, and has just kind of been bottling that up until suddenly a new woman showed up, I guess.
I mean, that's why she had to hang out with Danny, because Danny's just like a fountain of love and affection.
yeah.
So like it's pretty real, which is a little weird for a movie, and also not really explored. So
it's one of the many ways that this movie really like knocks you on your ass.
yeah. Well, and it's just like because and like also it's not what's wrong. It's just like mom died and I never got to deal with that, and I'm having trouble seeing you with a new woman. It's like, what's wrong, honey? Are you jealous? Do you want to kiss?
Yeah.
Do you want to kiss daddy?
You could tell me anything, but daddy. It's just like, oh man, this is weird.
Like, yeah, that lead-in was an odd way to go about it.
Oh boy!
Like, probably don't ask your teenage daughter if she's jealous of your girlfriend.
Yeah, what answer do you want? What's the correct answer to that question?
God, this movie.
Yeah, it takes place in the psycho dimension. I have no idea what is happening.
I'm excited to watch the others because like I have no idea. I know I've definitely seen the third one because it has a very distinct setting. And yeah, I don't know. I maybe saw this one previously.
Man,
I obviously recognize the dinosaurs because they're the same dinosaurs.
I'm gonna be so disappointed if that second one doesn't start with like the guide wiping the blood of the family off on his knife.
And then like leaves with a box of dinosaurs, and then it like bounces out of his truck and lands on a new.
Oh my God.
Just Jumanji's into someone else's life.
It's just leaving a series of bloodied homes behind him.
I like how also the eggs in this movie are like incredibly fragile when they need to be, and also can like knock a man out with a like light bonk. Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's because they were cold.
Yes, they're cold in the dungeon in the like weird cave ancient tunnel where you like turn a corner, walk 3 feet, and suddenly it's freezing cold.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, there was a dead guy on the ceiling. Why was he on the ceiling?
Yeah. My assumption was there was like a trap that came down, impaled him, and then like lifted up.
Nice of him to disarm that for them.
That is a weird effect. I was expecting that guy to like pull a Beetlejuice waiting room thing and be like, "Howdy."
Also, the natives should probably clean up their murder caves.
Well, also, like, because he, like, called out and something called back to him when he was in that cave.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then he's like, maybe there's something in my Mountain Dew or whatever he said.
A Gatorade.
Drink. Gatorade, that was it. That makes more sense. Yeah, so, I don't know what called out to him.
The god of the mountain.
That gifts you mutated eggs and refrigerators. Yeah, it was some real kind of like Gremlins setup. Except I would have expected more of a Gremlins setup where they just like happened across these eggs at the random pawn shop then because they looked like stones or something. But no, Mr. Sarno, he's got sources.
Well, I mean, it is Air Bud in that way. In that you have this like horrible person who has the magical animal, and then like the horrible person loses the magical animal and spends the rest of the movie trying to win them back.
Yeah, it's just like if it had just been they go to his shop and sell things, and then it's just like, I'm sad that mom's dead. Can we have these rocks? It's like, fine. They cost like $10.
Right,
and then
the
they hatch into dinosaurs.
and then,
Yeah.
And then Sarno wants them back because they're magic. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That would have been a much more straightforward plot, which clearly would not have fit the sanity of anyone in this movie.
No.
I wonder. I don't recognize the guy who played Sarno, but it seems like he is like a name or something at this time, because the director, like whoever made this movie, really thinks he's awesome and thinks the way he improvises is awesome and wants to see him on the screen all the time. And he's not like, he's okay. He's not the most interesting.
No.
Like, I'd rather spend more time getting to the bottom of a lot of other stuff.
Mostly the family dynamic.
The family dynamic. I'd love to spend some more time with the Italian thugs. See what their deal is. I like how they're also his like media agents. They also, you know, like deal with all his publicity. It I bet it feels really good to like order a bunch of reporters to like a press conference and then just kind of like not tell them anything and make fun of them.
Yeah, that was so good. But you promised me exclusivity.
Also, yeah, like, so was his money plan to just tour dinosaurs around to local museums?
Yeah, it's kind of underpants gnomes of a plan. Like there's a lot of question marks in the middle of this plan.
Yeah. Like he's like solid thesis that he can make a lot of money off of living tiny dinosaurs.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But no attempt to show his work. But yeah, that just really shows the budget of this movie. Which is not something I obviously ever thought about as a kid. It's just like, oh, they had 3 locations they could film in.
Yes, and they had one song.
Yeah.
Like that, the mischief theme, like the second time it comes on, you're like, okay, I've had enough of the it's gonna be in my head for the rest of my life.
I'm pretty sure that theme carries through the other movies too.
Oh my
Pretty sure it's in the 3rd one at the very least. Because as soon as that started playing, I'm like, I definitely know this song. Oh yeah, so like this came out like 20 something days after Jurassic Park, so this is let me make sure I have that right. So it's like very much kind of like an asylum film, but for kids, which is wild.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and if you look at the rest of the movies by Moonbeam Entertainment, it does read that like, you know, they're all just like sort of generic names that sound like a thing a kid would want to see, like Dragon World or whatever the other one is.
Yeah.
Well, it's like very much a niche that like they go like, we feel we can target this niche very effectively.
And they did.
Like family movies. Yeah, and you know what? Like, hey man, it worked.
Yeah, I'd be interested to like check out the other movies that were made by these people. Because I don't imagine they stuck around long, but...
Well, the really big one is Puppet Master. Do you guys know Puppet Master at all?
I feel like I've heard the title before, but I don't know.
It's a horror movie about ancient Egyptian puppets that like kill people.
Yeah, that's where I've heard of Puppet Masters as a horror series.
I have not.
Weren't there like a bunch of Puppet Master movies too?
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like there's been at least like 7.
Full Moon Productions, Full Moon Studios, then they became Shadow Films, and then the second Full Moon Pictures era. Apparently they are still making movies.
Wow.
Good for them.
Oh my goodness. The Ginger Dead Man. Whoa. Followed by the sequel to Ginger Dead Man. Ginger Dead Man 2, The Passion of the Crust.
No.
Wow, they really are Asylum. We're gonna have to check out some of these.
Yeah, we're gonna have to watch some of these. This is amazing.
Okay, so there's Puppet Master 5, the final chapter. Then Curse of the Puppet Master, Retro Puppet Master, Puppet Master the Legacy. A made-for-TV crossover film, Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys.
Oh my god.
Which is another one of their products. Demonic Toys is a knockoff of Puppet Master. Which is already a knockoff of Child's Play.
This is a gold mine, my friends. Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong is a 2013 American crossover slasher comedy film about a battle between the namesake characters from 2 film series, Ginger Dead Man, and Evil Bong.
So, like, we started watching the VHS featurette accidentally because that's what we found instead of the actual film when we started this. It opened with one of the directors of this movie saying that they founded this studio because they wanted to make wholesome movies for children.
Well, no, so that's Prehysteria was made on a like sub studio that they made to make kids movies. That was my reading of the wiki.
This was Moonbeam Entertainment's first film.
Right. Which is a subcategory of Full Moon Pictures.
I see.
So Full Moon is the super studio that made all the horror movies,
Yeah.
and then they went, "Hey, we can use all these special effects people that we have to make kids movies, and those make tons of money."
They founded 2 more labels: Torchlight Entertainment, specializing in softcore pornography sci-fi comedies, and Moonbeam Entertainment, specializing in family-oriented sci-fi and fantasy films.
These people are amazing.
What heroes.
Yeah, they really are like, wait a minute, other markets exist, and they have money. Just like, I can't believe they fucking started just softcore porn and family-oriented in the same year. Those are both founded in 93.
That's amazing.
Beach Babes from Beyond.
Holy moly. So I'm looking into, because he did look familiar, Stephen Lee, the guy that played Rico Sarno. So his first film, he was a sergeant in War Games. So he is a Never End the Story alum. His last and most recent film, his final film role, was the 2010 American classic Burlesque. Have either of you guys seen that?
I know nothing about it.
It is I'm not crazy about the whole like it's so bad it's good thing. That movie is so bad that it's amazing. It's absolutely unhinged and insane and makes no sense. And Cher is in it, and she does not. It's hard to tell what's going on with the Cher. Stephen Lee, however, is deceased. So rest in peace, Stephen Lee. Abusing women in heaven. A little bit.
Just a little bit. A little bit. Yeah.
It makes sense. He took the keys to heaven, so that's how he got in.
Triceratops tops.
Now get on the ground. Crawl to Tepper's tops.
Shoots gun into the air.
Do you like to harass business dads?
Just a little.
Just a little.
Just a little bit of orange and egg. All right, this movie. Put in the number 2 spot.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Number 2, knocking out the Indian in the cupboard. Right below Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, like this movie just has just so much crackhead energy that it's incredible, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's just such a it's so easy to breathe looking at season 2 Tepper Stops right now. Just
this is only 4
so
things
short.
on it. Yeah, it's not terrifying like the other gigantic list
Yeah.
of movies that we never want to see again is.
It's so much easier to play stuff now. Then for the villain, he was like fine.
I wish his goons were in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Well, like if he brought his goons to South America with him, that would have been fun.
Oh my god, that would have been so good. Yeah, number 2 spot for the villain.
Mm-hmm.
He was good. Well, no, he wasn't good. He was fine.
Really made a commitment to just ranking everything the same for.
He was a bad person, and that's what matters.
Yeah. Well, it's like he's better than the villain of Indian in the Cupboard.
Yeah.
But like it's hard to top Shang Tsung. Like dude had drip, was just really good across the board.
And yeah, again we have a very, very literal business dad. We got our penny pinching business dad.
Yeah, put him in the number 1 spot. He was more business than the home reno guy was.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, by far. I think he's like approaching Orange and Egg Dad levels of like legendary, where I don't know how.
Yeah.
You got to be pretty wild to beat that performance.
Yeah.
Well, he was just psychotic at parts. Like, it was just like, what is going
He's-
on? Why are you
he's-
like this?
Walter White, like he's actually
Yeah,
in
yeah.
his boxers holding a gun at a point in this movie.
Yeah.
This is a children's movie about tiny dinosaurs.
Oh. And then people we want to list.
Whitey.
Danny.
Oh.
I was going to say the Italian goons, but all 3 of those are really good. We all have different answers.
I mean, we have the power.
Yeah, I was going to say list them all, honestly. Like, the supporting cast for this movie was pretty good.
Who is Danny?
The boyfriend.
Oh, I'm sorry. Brain Dead Danny. My bad.
Yeah.
Do we order this list?
Nah, I don't think so. I think this is just us listing
Yeah.
people. There's no real order. Like, these are just like I view it as people we really like but don't fit on anything else.
Yeah.
Then who are we gonna put in the glory? The kids?
Yeah, I think brother sister makes sense.
Yeah.
They can bring some baby dinosaurs with them that'll probably not be useful.
The sister can call in Danny.
That'll be very useful.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the wiki again, and under reception it says only TV Guide called it, quote, the worst kind of kids film, end quote. That is the full extent of the reception section of the Wikipedia.
They're so wrong.
I can't really disagree with that. Like, I can't disagree with that sentence, because it is it's a very strange kids film.
See, like, what I would say, the thing with like kids films is like you either got to be the best or you got to be the worst.
And this is the worst.
And like, if you're in between, you're just so utterly forgettable and nothing that you might as well just not exist.
Yeah.
Whereas this movie just leans into just psychosis.
Like, I'm assuming that you would watch this again, or like show this to people.
Yeah. Like, yeah, or like if somebody was like, let's throw on Prehysteria in the background, I'd go like, yeah, man, like let's fucking do it. or like, you know what, like, hey, want to like get wasted and watch Prehysteria? I'd go like, yeah, let's do that.
Can we make a cut of Prehysteria where we cut out the dinosaurs?
Yeah, let's do it. Just more of the dad and more of the goons.
65-minute cut of Prehysteria. It's just a sexual thriller.
Man, there's 12 reviews on IMDb, and they're like 8 or 1.
That's
But
correct.
yeah, that's the exact kind of movie this is.
I'm going to change my like online dating profile to like rate Prehysteria 8 or 1.
There's one person who gave it a 10.
Oh wow.
And then there's just this review at 2 stars. It's with the title "Served its purpose."
Ivan, please tell me there's plot keywords for this film.
Oh, plot keywords: psychotronic film, stop motion animation,
Okay.
egg, fossil, baby dinosaur, single parent, prehistoric animal, prehistoric times, expedition, jungle, temple, father, sister, brother, gun, dog, prehistoric egg, prehistory, surrealism,
That's the most
Surreal.
accurate one.
family relationships,
Oh yes.
Yeah.
surprise ending.
Yeah, I guess that was kind of a surprise.
Father, sister, brother, gun, dog.
Yep. Tag yourself in the family.
Gun. The family dog, the family gun.
So how'd you get possession of this gun? Oh, I beat up an Italian gangster and took his gun.
I didn't even beat him up. I like tickled his nose and took it from him.
And also when the kids come running and go like, we heard shots, and he goes like, oh, I just scared off like a chicken thief. It's just like, what? Why
Yeah,
the
weird
bull?
time to lie.
Yeah,
Dad.
like why?
I just love just like psychotronic film and surrealism.
What's a psychotronic film?
I'm trying to figure that out.
Of or relating to a genre of usually low budget movies that include horror, fantasy, science fiction, and underground.
That is broad.
That is broad. But by that definition, I would assume that like asylum films are psychotronic films. Like this seems like a weird way to say like B movie.
Yeah.
The most popular currently psychotronic film on IMDb is the new Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh,
I don't.
Okay.
I don't know if I call that low budget.
Nope. That's why when you said that, I'm like, this thing showed a very different understanding of what that's supposed to mean.
Yeah.
I have no. And please, listeners, go try to figure out what psychotronic means because it's impossible.
Yeah.
Like as far as I can tell, as far as I can tell, psychotronic is like an old timey version of the way that like Deepak Chopra says quantum all the time, and it doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
Okay. So the definition, according to IMDb, is a genre comprised of science fiction, fantasy, and horror. It's not merely genre fare, though. There are also films that think outside the box, ones that try to break the mold, films that are daring enough to be different. These are at the core of the psychotronic genre.
So I am looking at psychotronics, the word that was named after probably, and the definition I have here on Wiktionary is a military technology dealing with electronic weapons or devices used to either degrade or enhance human health by directed energy.
Yeah, it makes sense. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. I saw this definition, or at least what I thought was a definition of fictionalized documentary showing the evolution of witchcraft from its pagan roots to its confusion with hysteria in Eastern Europe. But that is the plot of a movie under this category, which makes way more sense than being the definition of this category. Well, it certainly was sci-fi or fantasy, and it definitely broke the mold in some ways. Can confirm.
Mold broken, mind broken, world shattered.
I just read the plot of the sequel, or like the tagline of just like a rich boy desperate for attention makes friends with the dinosaurs of Prehysteria. I want that. Like, that to me reads like the sequel to Human Centipede, where he watched the movie Prehysteria and then found the actual dinosaurs. But yeah, I guess some kid buys them from this family, thus solving their money problems.
I actually remember how that happens now that you've said that, and I will save it for when we do it.
Yeah. Yeah. We certainly had things to say.
Yeah, holy shit, what a movie.
I think you could like randomize the order of any scene that the father is in this movie, and it would make as much sense.
Yes. I really want to recut this as like a man slowly descending into madness and like complete like sexual dementia. Yeah.
His wife's death and his newfound horniness for the dinosaur lady.
For everything, he's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
Give me the David Lynch cut of Prehysteria.
And then the Schneider cut.
Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider cut.
Give me the Rod Schneider cut.
Or like the Quentin Tarantino version of Prehysteria.
All right. Time to rate this masterpiece. Remember, 2 or 10.
Yeah, 2 or 10, maybe 8. I'm gonna rate this movie. That's too many mouths to feed. 5 too many mouths to feed.
I'm gonna rate this movie 2 shots in the air for one Italian man crawling on the ground.
Crawl to your car.
So psychotic.
I give this movie 5 baby dinosaurs out of 1 dog in a cage. Thanks, Mr. Whitey. As always, I've been your host, Ivan.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Tepper.
And a special thanks to 8-Bit Jazz for the use of our theme song. You can find them on YouTube or follow the link in the description.
Downloadable Zebras is a dedicated group of friends that make independent content. If you want to support us and ensure that we stay ad-free, go to patreon.com/downloadablezebras. For $3 a month, you'll get bonus shows and access to the special patrons-only section of our Discord. Thanks for listening.